All right, so to go along with the whole like stream setup video that I did, and is up currently up on YouTube right now. I was figuring, you know what? I went over how to set up the streams directly off from the PlayStation 5. So why not make a little bit of a breakdown of all the gear that I use, because it's taken me a few years and a lot of research and some trial and error and everything, to figure out what works, and on like a very cost efficient budget, because the budget that I have for doing all this stuff isn't like the biggest budget ever. So yeah, doing this kind of like a little bit of a vlog style, but I will also be probably posts or putting up the images of everything I use from like the Amazon pages, because everything in the setup comes from Amazon, except for maybe the PS5, which comes directly from Sony, just because all the shortage and everything of units available. But yeah, let's get into that. So we're gonna flip this around. Don't judge the mess. So this is basically the work area. As you can see, I've never actually shown my work area off ever on video and everything. So that's like the boatload of controllers and everything collected over the years and everything. Yes, that stands up. It's like a tower in front of everything. So three displays set up. Those two are both Asus monitors. That's the one that I use for high refresh rate. Once again, I'll have probably a link down in the description of all this stuff. Anyways, so the webcam up there, C920, just the normal webcam that's used on that everybody uses, and then that is a 4K 60 display, again from Asus. That one's a 1440p, 165 hertz, and then that is it's actually an old TV flat screen, that was kind of like a hand-me-down, but I use that for basically for like big time video editing. So I bring up Vegas and then I'll put the preview on that screen just because colors look better. Outside of that, we have the PCs, and again, if you're a content creator, you have a lot of cords, and everything kind of looks like it's a creative mess. But CyberPower PC, that's the main workstation now. This PC is not like it's not top end, top of the line or anything. It's literally an Intel i7. I think it's a 9700 Intel i7, and then that is actually a GTX 20. Was it 10? It's a three gig. It's just the stock card that used to come in with the older CyberPower PCs. But if you get a CyberPower now, you actually get a really nice, way better graphics card than what that one is. Again, you don't really need a whole lot. It's more in the processor than it is a graphics card. You don't need an RTX card and this and that unless you want to use like NVIDIA's AI based technology and everything. But you can actually get away with doing stuff like the sound suppressor and all that stuff in OBS directly. So yeah, we got CyberPower, and then again over here another CyberPower, and this is the computer that I had on stream, so you can actually go and see when I installed the RTX 2060 Super in it. But again, i5 RTX 2060 Super. So if you see me doing any PC gaming, that's the rig. So then we go on to, I guess we can go to the mixer. So this mixer has been actually showing off in a lot of like Twitch cons and everything. It's kind of sold out now because it's gained a lot of popularity. I had this thing before; it was actually cool to have it. It's a Behringer mixer, just a little. It used to be like $50. I think it's a little bit more expensive just because it is harder to get a hold of now. I had this thing forever. Works really well. And then for my headphones and everything, these are a AKG headphones. They use them a lot of time in studios. They have no bass boost, and then the microphone Back there is a Behringer. It's just a little stage microphone. You can find it on Amazon also. And that's mostly basically what I use. The newest addition to the whole thing, which is something I was talking about on stream already, is, and I can't really pull it out too well, is the AverMedia. I've been using AverMedia. So I used to use Elgato a lot. I switched over to AverMedia just because I had two Elgatos burn out, and I'm like, okay, we'll try AverMedia. They're a little bit cheaper, and they work just pretty much just as good as the Elgatos did. This one is I think it's the Live Ultra, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember if there's any letters and numbers in it, but definitely, like I said, I'll have a link in the description on that. And then that just goes right over to the good old OBS, and there I am over there, and on here, and yeah, that's me. So yeah, that's the setup, and then of course the green screen behind me, and end up using the chroma key right in OBS, and you can make the green screen happen. Now, I'm not going to do a video of like setting up OBS and everything because there's a million videos online of all that stuff, but that's basically the main setup for getting everything running. It's just a lot of like power USB and HDMI cables going from pretty much, you have console connects to capture card, USB connects to computer sends out signal through OBS. And then for your audio wise, mixer takes I like to use XLR for the microphone just because there's less static on it. And then also I use little sound suppressor things. I mean, they're very cheap. They're like, I think it's like $3 or $4 for like a 3-pack of them or 2-pack or something. It's actually those. It's the little Chinese made thing. But it cuts out all static off from the lines and everything. So if you do have that problem, definitely invest in a little sound suppressor audio. Basically 3.5 millimeter audio. Female and male goes right up into, and if you get a mixer, make sure and pick up some RCA plugins because you're going to need that also. But yeah, that goes USB, plugs directly into the computer, and I like to run this through. So the AverMedia, the capture card, you have to run it through a 3.0 USB. You'll know that it's the right USB if it's a blue USB plug-in. But this I run through like the normal. I forget what the number is for. I think it's a 2.0 or something. But it's a normal USB that I run that through, and then XLR cable again that goes directly to the microphone. And then yeah, that's your audio setup. And then the C920 of course plugs directly. I like to also plug that into, I have a 3.0 in the back of the computer, so I use that for the camera too. So that's basically the main setup. That is how all the streaming gear, and so now you have the video of how to set up the stream if you want to stream directly from the PlayStation, and the gear list I use to make like the professional look of running everything straight off from computers and capture cards and all that. Again, a lot of the equipment is not like the most expensive stuff ever, so for a few $100 you can actually get your setup going and everything pretty smoothly. And then a major thing, use an Ethernet cable to stream on, because your bandwidth, your bit rates, which you'll end up it'll pop up down there on the bottom. But even if you're streaming straight up through a console and whatnot, always try your absolute hardest to be plugged in by Ethernet cable to the internet, just to keep your bandwidth and your bit rates which is the same thing, but it keeps your bitrate stable. So it makes sure that your stream doesn't, drop frames and this and that, or have pixelation happen or any of that stuff. So again, also I say this a lot whenever anybody asks me questions about streaming and everything. Streaming and also, I mean, all this setup goes for making videos too. So if you're trying to just record stuff, it's the same setup. It's just the difference is you're either clicking to record stuff and then have to edit it afterwards in a program like Sony Vegas or such, or Adobe Premiere. But if you're just live streaming, OBS, that's basically the main programs I've always used. But now I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, always plug your stuff in using an Ethernet cable, and yeah, you'll have a good solid bit rate going on. So these are all of the gear and everything. Hopefully it helps somebody else. If you're just wondering and are like really on a budget, then definitely go and check out this list of stuff that'll be down in the comment section, and I'll probably end up flashing all the actual pages to everything that I use on the video. So go check it out, and good luck out there. Streaming and video making it's full of technical errors, and you have to really be like your own tech support and everything to make this stuff work. It is all about solving the puzzles of stuff going wrong, because 9 times out of 10 stuff will go wrong and you have to fix it. There's so many YouTube tutorials, though. Definitely go and check all that stuff out, because 9 times out of 10, if you have a problem with your setup, somebody else has already fixed it, and there is a solution in video format on YouTube. Just keep that in mind. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I'll see you next time.